Hello and welcome again to TelecomTV. My name is Martin Warwick. We're here at the automotiveIT International Congress in a building called the Crystal, very trendy, in London's Docklands, as you can see out the window there. And I'm talking with Tate Cantrell, who is the CTO, Chief Technology Officer with Verne Global. Tate, good to see you again. We had a brief chat over a beer last night.
Up at the top of the world.
Top of the BT Tower.
Under sunny London skies. So how about that?
That was pretty good, huh? It's not bad today either.
Yeah, indeed.
So it's good to see you again. I'd like to begin by asking you, what do you see as being the most prominent, the major trends that you're seeing in the automotive industry today?
Well, the automotive industry wants to grow, and I think we heard at the conference today that 60% of the cars that are sold in continental Europe are being sold at a loss right now. So I think the automotive industry and the OEMs, they're looking for ways to increase profits, and where we're seeing that, where we're seeing the growth in revenues the most is in the compound annual growth rates of automotive IT services, telematics, the way that companies interact with their customers. There's absolutely, for every connected car, you see a bump in the revenue potential that the automotive companies have the opportunity to take down.
The first thing that I think will surprise anyone who isn't in the industry or knowledgeable about the junction between IT and automotive is the fact that car manufacturers operate at a loss or a very, very narrow margin at the best. I think that would surprise most people. Why is that?
Well, it's an industry that's been around for a while, so they're always looking for sources of innovation, and they always have to meet the needs and the high expectations of their customers. So there's great competition, right? I mean, we all think of ourselves as artists, and really car design is all about art. We know that, and so to try to find a nuance in a form of art that's been so well established over the last few decades is difficult. In a way, it's all about creating an experience for the driver in order to be able to drive those companies forward.
And do you think when we're talking about the IT and the comms infrastructure within the car and without the car and the transfer between the two and so on, do you believe that that will be sufficient when there's enough applications there or whatever it may be to be able to allow the motor manufacturers either to sell vehicles at a higher price to account for this or to make a larger margin?
I don't know if they'll be able to necessarily increase the price. I think that IT's been all about shrinking the bottom line, creating more efficiencies, being able to do more with less. That's certainly what we're trying to do for our customers. And so I think what we'll find is that the overall experience will improve to the point where the brand recognition becomes better attributed with an experience that a consumer wants. And that's going to lead to higher revenues for these companies. So IT and higher revenues.
You are with Verne Global. Let's talk about the company and what you do. How does your company innovate to take advantage of the trends we've been talking about, the big data, the connected car, the autonomous car and so on, and to meet the demands of the drivers of tomorrow? What does Verne Global do within that, and what do you do within that?
Sure. Well, automobile manufacturers, let's start there because we're at an automotive IT conference.
Sure.
They're no longer just building cars. They're creating a driving experience. So they're creating an automotive experience, and so as such, a data center, which is the services that Verne Global provides, is actually a raw material that goes into this driving experience. So we are raw material into the automotive industry, and sometimes people don't realize that. You have these computers that are sitting there drawing excessive amounts of energy, generating ones and zeros. Well, that energy that's in Iceland is coming right out of the earth. Is literally being taken, that energy is being taken and applied to create a driving experience. And so what we're doing is we've located in a place where we can offer the lowest cost solution to a car manufacturer as they increase those IT services that they need to provide for their customers.
Tate, you mentioned just then Iceland, which is not the place you'd immediately think of as being a place for sort of data centers and so on because of all the volcanic activity. Why are you there?
Well, we're there because of low-cost, dependable energy. Let's follow industry, right? The aluminium smelters came in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, helped Iceland build up one of the most advanced industrial power grids on the planet. In fact, it's got some of the highest ratings of power quality anywhere in the world. That's perfect for a data center. You couple that with the Iceland climate, where you're talking about less than 20 degrees C for the entire summer, and around 0 during the winter. And you've got what I like to think of as really an engineering phenomenon. You've got the ability to serve power without being concerned about the price of oil and OPEC, and you're completely independent from a typical grid, yet you're able to cool the computers themselves in a very unique and innovative way. This solution, when you boil it down, can allow a company like BMW, who happens to be a customer on our campus, they can run their high-performance computing simulations in Iceland on the Verne Global campus for more than 80% less in cost from an energy perspective than they could at their other locations. Interesting stuff. You wouldn't think of Reykjavik or the region around it as being the center of anything as heavily IT as that. Well, there is an amazing IT group there, and not only in the IT support that we get in the data center itself, but there's some very interesting software manufacturers, there's companies that are developing apps, there's a cloud manufacturer who hails from Iceland. There's really a very interesting little Silicon Valley of the Mid-Atlantic going on in Iceland. Interesting. Let's move on to back to where we started, really, with the IT and comms in the automotive industry. How important is information technology and communication technology in enabling your organisation, Verne Global, to operate more efficiently and smartly? We've sort of touched on that. Is there anything else that you bring to the party, as it were? Well, let's be clear. We are the IT services provider. I appreciate that. And we know that our differentiator is to connect the IT services that we're running within our facilities to the energy source that's going to be dependably priced, to be able to give companies 20-year price protection. So we talk about the raw material that we're bringing to the driving experience. That raw material is now sourced in a way where it can be predictably priced for the long term. You can't do that with energy anywhere else in the world. Certainly can't do it in Britain, that's for sure. That's for sure. Absolutely. Okay, thank you. So a final question to you then. What role does IT and comms technology play in shaping the car, the vehicle of the future, do you think? Well, we've decided, at least in this interview between the two of us, that the experience of driving is the most important thing. It's what's going to allow the car manufacturer to be able to differentiate themselves from their competitors. They're going to be able to create brand. They're going to be able to get that customer loyalty that any company is looking for. The only way that you can create an experience is either by maximizing the number of G-forces in the turn, which let's say mostly that's already been done, or you can bring this new age of the Internet of Things into the vehicle to make our experience more relaxing, to make it safer, to make it more secure, to get us there on time, and also be there for our entertainment needs. Very interesting. It'll be fascinating to see what happens over the coming years. Tate Cantrell, thank you very much indeed. Thanks, Martin.